Today we are going to discuss our chapter number 4 further on. So in my previous class I told you about the solubility. Solubility means when any solid object dissolve in the water, it means it is soluble in the water. What happens if I talk about liquids? If any liquid dissolve in the water or in any other liquid, so such kind of liquid is known as miscible liquid. Such kind of liquid is known as miscible liquids. For example, milk and water, honey and water. Next is immiscible liquid. When liquid do not dissolve in any other liquid or in the water, such kind of liquids are known as immiscible liquid. For example, oil and water. They do not dissolve with each other, they do not mix with each other. Such kind of liquid is known as immiscible liquid. Now, density. So through the density we can also sort the objects into the groups. For example, wood, paper, sponge. They float on the water. It means they are less denser than any other objects. Stone, metal and any other heavy object settle at the bottom. So it means they are more denser than this object like wood and paper. So through the density we can also sort the objects into the groups. And next topic is transparency. Transparency means when the object allow the light to pass through it. So such kind of object is known as transparent objects. When object allow the light to pass through it. For example, clear plastic bag, glass piece. So such kind of object is known as transparent objects. Now translucent objects. Translucent objects are those which allow only partial light to pass through it. Such kind of object is known as translucent object. For example, butter, paper. Opaque objects. Opaque objects which do not allow light to pass through it is known as opaque object like book, wooden board. They do not allow the light to pass through it. Such kind of objects are known as opaque objects. So from these three words we can also from transparent object, translucent and opaque. From these three we can also sort the objects into the group. So afterward what you need to do, you have to prepare a theme page of this chapter. What you need to do, you have to write chapter name, chapter number 4, kind of materials, day and date, then afterwards learning objective, object around us, properties of materials, grouping of materials. So on the next page what you have to write the keywords. First is classification, arranging things and putting them in groups is known as classification. Soluble, material dissolve in the water is known as soluble. Insoluble, material do not dissolve in water. Transparent objects which allow light to pass through them. Opaque objects do not allow light to pass through them. Translucent objects allow only partial light to pass through them. Have a great day ahead.